What's up, y'all? It's Tommy here with Everyday Finance, and today I'm going to be talking about a card that has been a game changer for me when it comes to traveling. Okay, so this card I'm talking about is actually the Transferwise, now known as Wise Debit Card. And this card actually has just changed the game completely when it comes to me being able to travel and still being able to access funds and things like that. Now, one thing that I found that was a game changer is they have something called a multi-currency account. And that's part of what my debit card is connected to. And I'm going to deep dive into what that is, how that's beneficial. And if you're someone who likes to travel or plans on traveling in the future, this is a video you might want to stay tuned for. So don't go anywhere. Now, I wanted to go ahead and I took just like a few notes about it. Just kind of want to jump into it. I think the first thing that I do want to touch about is like how beneficial this card's been. Like I've been in situations where, for example, like I was in Mexico and I was able to transfer money practically in real time, like immediately from my bank account into my Transferwise account and convert it into pesos at a reasonable price, right? And I think that's probably what I find is the most game changing of it all, right? And I'll deep dive into it. I have a few other things I wanted to touch on here, but I think that's kind of the big thing, right? And now, before I continue, one thing I do want to touch on is that I know I call them Transferwise, but they have changed their name. Some of you guys probably know them as Wise, right? They kind of shorten their name there, but the way they kind of position themselves is banking without borders. The idea is you can have, a bunch of different bank accounts. Really, yeah, that's kind of how I look at it. Is like you have access to a bunch of different bank accounts, but they all merge into one. So you can, in theory, have like the codes you need to be able to get a wire sent in the States, but then also have a Euro EU bank account. And that's kind of the situation that I have, right? Is I have all these, different like little pockets where I can keep cash and things like that. And that's where I found the most benefit from, right? Now, they charge us the cheapest foreign exchange fees, roughly around 1%, just cheapest that I've seen at least, man. If you've seen something better, definitely put it down in the comments. But the fees are really transparent. That's what I really like about them, is that one thing that I realized, especially doing a lot of traveling, is that there's times where banks will they'll tell you that they're going to charge you a foreign transaction fee or something. But on top of that, they're also taking a cut. Like they're also taking a cut of the spread or the conversion rate. Let's say you're going from dollars to euros. They'll take a cut of that and you won't even realize it unless you're keeping up with the actual exchange rates. And that's what I love about Transferwise, is they're pretty open about it and they're completely transparent in terms of what's going on and how much they're charging you. Now, some other people that I've talked to, one other benefit that they found from it is that they get really great money transfers, right? They're able to do really cheap money transfers, especially if you're trying to send it to somebody else in a different currency or, in a different country, things like that. And, I don't do much when it comes to actually sending the transfers, but I do think that's a great benefit as well, right? Especially if you're nowadays we're all connected, like with the internet and everything. And, I do have like, I work with different contractors and things like that, or people who I outsource things to, and they might be in different countries. And this is definitely something that I might leverage. I've used other forms to pay people, and typically with other forms, either you're going to have to pay more or they're going to lose money. Out of the money that you give them, a cut's going to be taken by whatever bank that you're using. Okay, so that's definitely something to keep in mind. Now, again, this is the main part. Again, guys, for me was the multi-currency account. Now, this is what I mainly use, right? It's great. You can hold over 50 plus currencies, guys. It has pretty much every currency of at least the larger countries or more established countries that you're going to see out there. I mean, I've pretty much every country that I've went to, I've been able to leverage this card. I didn't actually use it in Colombia. I wish I would have, because it would have made things a lot easier for me instead of me withdrawing money out of the ATM and getting charged extra fees and things like that. But yeah, I mean, I think that's where the true benefit of it comes. Now, where I think it's even truly beneficial is you're able to pay using your debit card as opposed to using cash, right? So for me, that I really enjoy this, because when I'm going out to places, like for example, right now I'm actually out in Granada, Spain, right? And I can't imagine me carrying, or keeping 500 euros in my like on me or just in my place, things like that, right? Because I'm in a new place. I'd rather be able to keep as little cash as possible, and that's pretty much what I do in the States too, right? Keep as little cash as possible and being able to just use my credit cards and only cash whenever I really need it. And I think that's what I found really beneficial about that is, I'm able to do that a lot easier. And it's a great alternative to me having to pay like using a credit card and then experiencing that same stuff I talked about earlier, right? The poor exchange rates, the exchange rate, and then the transaction fees, things like that. Okay. Now, it's the dope thing about this too is it always allows me to do instant transfers. Like I literally, like I told you guys about what happened to me in Mexico. I was literally able to do a transfer in like seconds. I was literally at the table. They were bringing the bill out, and I was like, oh, I checked how much money I had. I was like, okay, I need to add more money. Transferred in more money, immediately popped up in my account. I paid with my card, and everything was good. So I think that for me is a game changer. And the other great thing is it's like you would use your credit card anywhere or your debit card anywhere. Like you're not going to experience a bunch of extra fees. Like, you know, one thing I realized was like if you're in another country, like if I'm in Mexico or something and I'm buying a pack of gum at the grocery store, next thing you know, whenever I check my credit card statement, I got like 3 line items for that one pack of gum, right? It's like the pack of gum, maybe they charge me a fee, and then the shop's bank charged me a fee or something, right? And now, because you're paying in the actual currency of wherever you are, you're not charged any of those fees. So it's just kind of an all-around win-win that I found, right? And yeah, that's the gist of it. Now, I do want to clarify that Wise itself is not a bank, right? They work with sponsor banks, and they have banks in all different parts of the world to store your money, but it's typically going to be larger banks, right? Like, for example, I know they work with like Barclays overseas. I think it's Wells Fargo in the States. And basically, they partner with all these bigger banks that are, you know, they're there to, you know, watch over your money. And you know, it's kind of it's a lot more credibility because it's not, don't have the idea that all the money goes into Wise's bank account. They have to keep separate bank accounts. Of course, they have one for their operations, and then they keep a bank account for, you know, all their consumers and things like that. So that's one thing that I found was a plus. I'll throw a little more about how the website looks and everything like that, so y'all can take a look as well. And the setup process, it's really going to be identical to what you would see at any bank. Expect to get asked questions about, like, you know, to prove your identity, you know, your passport, where you're from, things like that. Just the gist, like the normal stuff that you're used to. Okay, that's really the gist of this video, guys. I think, you know, this is going to be a great transactional bank account for me, or a debit card for me, especially whenever I'm traveling. I don't use it so much in the States. I probably could, but, you know, just based off of what I'm doing, I don't use it as much. But yeah, I think this is it's a great for day to day, especially whenever I'm out of the States. This is also perfect for any travelers or freelancers. If you're someone who is freelance and you get paid by overseas clients, this is a great win for you because you can actually have them just send the funds straight to that account. So you're taking less of a hit on their conversions. And if you're someone who's planning on being any of those things, this is also a great win for you. Definitely something that I'd recommend you check out. And that's pretty much it for this video, guys. I'll be sure to link down below to the actual card itself so y'all can take a look at it. But other than that, man, like, I'd recommend you at least check it out, especially if you're looking to, like, you're traveling or you're freelancing, things like that. I think this is a card that's beneficial for anybody who's looking to pretty much leave their country, right? So I think this will be a great one for any of you guys. If you have any other questions about the card, throw it down in the comments. I've used this card pretty extensively, so I think I'm fairly well versed in terms of like any questions that you guys might have with it. Also, if you found value in this video, make sure you hit the like button and make sure you hit the subscribe button down below so you don't miss any of my future videos as well. And guys, if you want to see any other videos related to me traveling or just credit or finance in general, throw it down in the comments as well, and I'll take a look at it and see when I can get those videos shot. Alrighty, so that's gonna be it for this video, guys. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you at the next one. Peace.